Our progress here at SpaceX is measured by getting closer to establishing a self
that was slated to fly on Flight 10, but that
Everything's probably half an hour, basically. Some things might be 10 minutes.
Yeah, that's true.
I mean, yeah, sign me up for that, please. All right, cool.
Across the Atlantic in 10 minutes, no problem.
Please, yes, sign me up.
You're going 25 times the speed of sound, so that's 30 times faster than a commercial aircraft.
And it's a whole hell of a lot better view.
Yeah, it's a hell of a view.
Yeah. All right, cool. Anything else, guys? Anything else?
Well,
you're really excited
we
about
could
coming
say
out?
a lot more.
Yeah.
Maybe we should go check in on the rocket and get on
All right,
console.
we're going to go back on console to hopefully the weather supports a launch tonight. Yeah, thanks for tuning in, and yeah, thanks for your support.
All right. Obviously, that was really cool. There's probably not anybody else cooler on the planet to talk Starship with. Still very ready to sign up for that point-to-point travel too. Also, though, it's really hard to relay just how much power is being generated by these engines on this rocket. We try to compare it to something like a little bit closer to home for people. We've used an airplane a lot of times. That's just something a little more tangible to folks.
Yeah, if you were to stack Starship up against one of the biggest airplanes out there today, the 747, just one Raptor engine is double the thrust of all 4 airplane engines. Super crazy to think about. And the Super Heavy on the pad right now, which has 33 Raptor engines, is putting out as much power as about 64 747s.
Yeah, but always important to remember there's a lot of people that just don't know that all of this is happening. So it's cool to remind them, cool for everybody else out there to help us spread that word. All right. So right now we are 17 minutes, 12 seconds and counting until
You're correct. I am indeed muted. How long has that been the case? The whole time? Oh, wow. Can you hear me now, Avery? Nope. It seems I've been muted the whole time. I swore to God I unmuted at the beginning. Lima. Oh, fuck, he was closer. Yes. No, I was saying... God, I said so many fucking things too. Son of a bitch. How long was that? Fucking 46 minutes of me being muted playing GeoGuessr with music in the back. Peak entertainment, I guess. Slovenia? Again? Okay, I guess I don't have enough time to figure it out. Romania. Yeah, no, I said hello and everything and asked how you were doing. Italy? Netflix. Maybe French? Really decrepit looking if it's France. Mania ain't looking too hot. UK. I think that's what that says. Denmark. Never mind, it was DK. Bitch.
So we're talking about a massive increase in performance all around.
I'm gonna go to the
which
bathroom.
will
I'll be right
ultimately
back.
enable Starlink to serve as the communications backbone of the missions to the moon and to Mars. So for now, we're going to turn it back over to the team at Starbase.
Thank you so much, Tyler. Okay, let's turn our attention to today's flight profile, which will feel familiar because it is. We're looking to get our first re-entry with this iteration of ship, and we're again intentionally stressing Super Heavy during its return. The next generation booster is on the horizon, so the objective is to push and learn all we can from this current version.
All right, let's jump right in. As always, it's going to start with liftoff. Super Heavy ignites 33 engines lifting off from Starbase and ascending. It's going to power that ascent for about 2.5 minutes until we get to hot stage separation. Super Heavy shuts down all but 3 engines, deeply throttles the remaining ones, stage 2 lights its, and flies away. We have stage separation, a directional flip. It's going to descend. We're going to do some landing burn experiments and then do a splashdown in the Gulf.
Meanwhile, ship continues on with its ascent burn, again reaching a planned suborbital trajectory. We'll attempt to deploy 8 Starlink simulator satellites and then head back for re-entry, where we'll be testing multiple experiments, including missing tiles, metallic tiles, and intentionally loading the vehicle's flaps. Ship will also attempt a flip maneuver, and if all goes as planned today, we'll conclude the test with a soft water splashdown in the Indian Ocean. So that's what we have on deck for Flight 10, which is just about
Okay, I'm
11
back.
minutes, 40 seconds from launching.
That's right. And so just a quick status check-in. So as you said, we're about 11.5 minutes away. We have some good news. We got our latest range and weather status, and surprise, everything is looking green today. So that's the biggest news that we were looking for. Again, weather is the main watch item for today, but we are green right now. We're not tracking any issues with the vehicle or ground systems, so we are looking pretty good for launch. We did all of our normal pre-flight checkouts with all the different vehicle and pad systems. At this very moment, we're almost done, or we're pretty far into our prop load on ship, and a little bit more to go on the booster.
Yep, looking closely, it looks like we're nearly closed out on ship, like Dan said, about 70% of the way through
Clean my
on
glasses.
both methane and LOX on the booster side. We'll continue loading prop for a while. We'll close out at about T minus 30 minutes, 20 seconds on ship, and then 30 seconds later, we'll finish up loading prop on the booster.
Yeah, so bottom line, a little over 10 minutes to go. Range is green, weather is green, vehicles looking healthy. We're looking good to launch right at the top of our window at 6:30 p.m. Central Time.
Can't wait. All right, now let's quickly talk about Mars, since everything we do is part of our foundational mission to get to the Red Planet. Each Starship launch is to learn more and more about what's needed to make life multiplanetary and to improve ship to the point where it's taking millions of people to Mars.
Yeah, we've shared the plan previously in the last couple of months. We're looking to start sending the very first Starships to Mars next year. These missions, not with people. We're just looking minimally viable landers. So let's just prove that we can get there.
Cat wants in.
And so we're just going to focus on learning as much as possible, but looking at all of those different phases. You know, prop load, prop transfer on orbit, sending stuff out to Mars, doing the transit, doing the entry, and just doing a landing.
And in our next window, around 2028 to 2029, we're going to attempt to land the initial infrastructure and start delivering more equipment as well, while evaluating available resources on the Red
Look,
Planet.
those flaps move.
And we will also have Optimus on board for the ride, who is designed to do the initial heavy lifting.
Well, looks like we're doing some flap checkouts real quick on the ship as we are coming up on 9 minutes. Back to Mars, though, as those wrap up by about 2030, 2031. We'll continue to increase the payload per ship, build out more infrastructure out there on Mars's surface, start to mine some of those resources, set up some propellant generation plants, build up some fuel and some oxidizer to send starships back from Mars. By the time we get all the way to 2033, we're looking to double the amount of payload we're sending with each ship as we get closer and closer to building a
Well, you're scared about
self-sustaining
robots on
presence
Mars?
on the red planet.
Yeah, definitely lots of exciting missions ahead of us, and these are going to be crucial to
excited.
setting up what we'll need for humans to eventually inhabit the planet, and we won't be doing this alone. The Italian Space Agency and SpaceX recently signed a first-of-its-kind agreement to carry Italian experiments on the first Starship missions to deliver customer payloads to Mars. So these payloads will include a plant growth experiment, a weather monitoring station, and also a radiation sensor to gather scientific data during Starship's approximately 6-month interplanetary coast phase from Earth to Mars and also on the Martian surface.
It's a really exciting mission. Makes showing up for work really fun for us. We're going to need to launch a whole lot more, though. So while we're just under 8 minutes away from launch today, let's head back over to Tyler and Hawthorne, talk a little bit about how we're going to be increasing the number of Starship launches going forward. Tyler?
Thank you, Dan and Amanda. So to put it plainly, in order to launch more Starships, we need to build more launch pads. And that's exactly what we're doing at Space Launch Complex 37 at Cape Canaveral Space Force Station in Florida.
Yeah, they got like
Now,
freaking...
Pad 37 has a story.
Man's got a banana.
Most recently with the Delta IV rocket and for the missions for the U.S. government. And prior to that, the pad supported
A lot of
critical
bananas.
development for the
Banana
Apollo
for
lunar
scale.
program in the 1960s. And we are honored to have the opportunity to continue making spaceflight history at Pad 37 with Starship. But first, we need to optimize the pad. So earlier this year, we started dismantling some of the existing infrastructure to prep the site for Starship operations. This will include
Yeah,
up to 76 launches a year,
how many
with up
launch
to
towers
152
being
landings
built?
at that location for Super Heavy and for Starship. And to support this flight rate,
I
we
have, like,
plan on building 2 launch
3 or
pads.
4 in-
Each will have one
in-
tower that can support launch
oh.
and landing, plus deflector systems, launch mounts, and water deluge systems. This will also include a propellant farm that will produce propellant on site and serve
God, that's
both
such a
launch
cool
pads.
rendering.
So there is a lot of work in progress, but Pad 37 is only one part of our plan for Starship operations in Florida. A few miles away from Pad 37 at Kennedy Space Center, our 380-foot-tall vertical integration facility called Giga
I do
Bay
know
is
about the
under
one that tried to
construction.
like prevent itself
Once
from
complete next
was it
year, Giga Bay
OpenAI?
will be capable of housing multiple
What was
Starships
it,
simultaneously
ChatGPT
for
or
rapid
something? I
assembly
forget.
and integration. And meanwhile, at Launch Complex 39A, we're building Starship's infrastructure to support
prevent
up to
itself from
44
being deleted.
launches and up to 88 landings a year, independent of operations at Pad 37. So with 2 launch complexes
God,
in
these are
Florida,
such cool
we'll have
shots.
the ability to fly up to 120
Look at
Starships
that.
annually, not including our flights from Starbase.
Well,
So,
Falcon 9 and a
action is
Starship
well
right
underway in
beside each
Florida.
other.
How's it looking in Texas?
Thanks, Tyler. Things are continuing to look good for launch here in Texas, so getting pretty close here with just under 6 minutes left. You mentioned Giga Bay. We're currently laying the foundation for Giga Bay here at Starbase as well, and we expect it to be up and running sometime next year. So yeah, there's a whole bunch of Starships on the way, and we're going to need more hands on deck. So come help us build the gateway to Mars. Visit spacex.com/careers to see all of our openings.
Yeah, I've been here for a couple of years now. Nowhere more magical, more inspirational on the planet. If you're a space nerd, you can come be like Amanda and build these things for real. It's pretty insane. It's super exciting. And yeah, come check us out. All right.
Absolutely. It's surreal to be here for sure. Okay, so we are looking like we're about 5 minutes away from launch and heading into terminal count. Range and weather are continuing to look good, and prop load continues on both stages of Starship. We'll close out here in just a minute or so.
Yeah, we're just about done. It looks like, let me grab my numbers real quick. We're not tracking any issues. We are just creeping up to 90% full on the locks on the booster, a little over 93% on ship, or sorry, fuel on the booster, and then ship we're just about to close out, so only a couple of minutes to go there. Once we're done, you've got just shy of 11 million pounds of liquid propellant on board those 2 different stages. We'll see a couple of final things happen.
God, I wish I could see this in
Can't
person.
really see it. It's all going to be happening in our ground systems as we'll do pushbacks, clear all of the propellant
I
out of
wanna see
those lines
the
that are
payload
flowing up through
deployment
the
this time.
tower and into the vehicles, and get ready for launch. We just did our final guidance, navigation, and control system checkouts. Our flight safety system is being armed right now, and we're doing our final wiggle checks shortly with the engines on the thrust vector control. It's how we're steering the rocket. If we need to hold, which we are not currently tracking a reason to hold, that would come at T-minus 40 seconds. You saw us do that yesterday. We can hang out there for about
what
8
these ones
minutes
are.
or so right now. That's the point. It's built into the countdown. If we need to wait for clouds that just won't go the heck away
Those
or
cameras?
any other issues, we can hang out at T-minus
What was
40 for a bit.
those
But
were?
at the moment, we're not planning to do that.
Now, once we pass that T-minus 40-second mark, a number of events are going to occur in rapid succession. The ground spin and ignition systems come up to flight pressure, ship will switch over to internal power, and after that, the QD arm lockout is removed in preparation for retraction, which occurs shortly after T0. And once we pass that T-minus 40 seconds, we do still have the ability to then recycle the count under certain conditions back to T-minus 40 seconds and hold there to assess what happened, and if we can proceed again back down to liftoff.
That's right. We do have at least one point of no return, though. If the water-cooled flame deflector underneath the launch mount fires off, that happens a little bit after T-minus 10 seconds. That doesn't turn off once it starts going, so we would have to stand down for the day if we do hit a hold or an abort at that point, so we can refill water tanks. At this point, we're not sure if we'd be able to attempt tomorrow because we have fully loaded the vehicle. We have to do a lot of fancy scheduling to get propellant in here as fast as possible. But again, we've got a pretty heroic and amazing team that works all of those logistics, got us into our attempt today after
I
we
hope
did
to
a
God they don't
unplanned
delay
wet dress
again.
yesterday during our attempt. So really exciting to see. But we're coming up on 2 minutes. We've
Come on,
got a green range. We are green for weather. Green has always been my favorite color, only more so now.
Not
And
mine.
we are not tracking any
but I like it
issues
today.
with the vehicle today. So we are looking good. 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, again, not planning on holding at T-minus 40 seconds right now, but in case we do pass that and any issues come up, we can recycle the count. We're pretty lucky that we have this ability. Falcon doesn't have that built in, but being a developmental program, this affords us a lot more flexibility, so super useful to be able to have that. But again, not currently tracking
Avery, you
any
might be able to
issues,
see the
so
upper stage
hopefully
fly
we'll
over the
be
Bahamas.
good to launch today.
All right, coming up on 90 seconds. We've got a pretty good crowd gathering with us right outside Star Factory here at Starbase. Looks like we're getting a quick TVC, that wiggle check.
This is my favorite view of the rocket.
Right under the launch mount.
It launches. You should go check and see if you can see it.
All right, so we've got crowds gathered out at Hawthorne, crowds gathered here at Starbase.
Super fun to see people getting to watch out on the front lawn now.
1 minute to go to launch.
Come on.
All right, so again, our hold point comes up at T-minus 40, not tracking any reason to stop there, so we should see us
Yeah.
go right through that.
Mm-hmm.
All right, we are through T-minus 40.
Good signs.
We're counting down. We're going to let our flight director, Maciek Batura, take us the rest of the way. 30 seconds.
Fair
the
enough.
10th liftoff of Starship.
T-minus 15. T-minus 10. 9. 8.
Come on.
7. 6. 5. 4. 3. 2. 1.
Oh, ignition. Release.
We have liftoff.
Yes! That's what I'm talking about.
Vehicle pitching downrange.
Go, rocket, go. Godspeed. Come on.
Booster chamber pressure nominal.
Look at those engines. God, look at that. The giant Mach diamond.
All right, we're a little over 40 seconds into flight. 33 out of
Booster and
33
ship,
Raptor
avionics,
engines.
power and telemetry nominal.
The engines are looking good.
Getting good call outs, healthy systems on the booster as it starts to pitch over the Gulf.
Oh, max Q.
All right, we're a little over 1 minute into flight, about to pass through max Q.
I think it just did.
Max Q.
All right, so we are through the period of maximum dynamic pressure, max stress
shit.
on the vehicle as it continues to fly.
Good signs.
Our
good
next
signs.
major event is going to
Look
be
at that
hot
thing pitch
staging, which
down.
is happening in just over 90 seconds from now. To get ready, the booster will shut down all but 3 of its Raptor engines. The clamps holding the 2
Oh!
stages together will release,
That's
and the
not good.
Starship second stage ignites its
Hopefully.
engines.
One of the engines went
The
out.
ship then separates from the Super Heavy booster and heads to space. At the same time, the 3
Wonder what's
engines
up with
still
that.
firing on Super Heavy will flip the booster around. 10 more engines will ignite for the boost back burn, putting the first stage on the path for splashdown in the Gulf. As we mentioned earlier, the hot stage will be jettisoned for this flight, and that should occur just after the boost back burn. So we're about to shut down the first stage and perform hot staging. So let's just watch and listen.
Doing a lot of rolling. Venting.
All right, seeing the engine start to throttle down.
Miko.
Shut down.
Ship ignition. Boost back burn startup.
Yes!
Base separation.
You can see the same engine still shut down over here. Something must have happened with that during...
Stage separation confirmed. We've got 6
ascent.
engines running on ship. Booster is doing its boost back burn, continuing now
Wonder
towards
what happened
its
with that boost, or
splashdown
with that
site
engine.
in the Gulf.
Ship
We are
Raptor
seeing
chamber
all 6
pressure is
Raptors
nominal.
lit up on ship.
What if that's the one they're trying to relight instead of one of the middle ones? I'm just trying to save it. Oh, you can see the fucking...
You heard them
exhaust
report
plume right
ship
there.
chamber pressure
Look
is
at
nominal,
that.
so that chamber pressure
The
just
shadow it's
unexpected
casting.
thrust
Ooh,
level in
that's
those
cool.
Raptor engines on the ship. 3 vacuum optimized,
Ship
3 sea
avionics,
level,
power and
all
telemetry
looking
nominal.
good.
Nice. Good signs.
There's a view into the business end from the ship.
Boost back burn shutdown.
I'm gonna hope that isn't fire.
All right, so at this point, we finished our boost back burn, so that was shut down. So that's the first of the 2 burns after a launch that the booster is going to do today. So now it's headed towards the Gulf. It's not going to be quite as an aggressive of a flight down. We relaxed that angle of attack a little bit.
Man, you can still see
But
the
we are
plume
then
out
going
in
to
the
be looking
back.
for it to do
That
its
is such a
engine
cool
tests for
view.
the landing burn, and those are going to be a little unique this time.
My
Yeah,
God.
typically we start with all 13 inner engines lit for that landing burn and bring that down to just the center 3. But one of our test
is such
objectives
a
for
cool
today is
view.
to simulate what an engine out situation would look like. So we're going to be intentionally turning off one of those center 3 and instead lighting one of the engines from the middle 10 ring.
Yeah, we did see one of those engines in the middle ring shut down during the initial ascent. Oh, looks like we have hot stage jettison. You can see it floating away there to the left of the booster.
Might be the last time we see that.
Yeah,
I
we
think
did
with the
see one of
next
those
booster, they
middle
have
engines
the
shut down during the
integrated
ascent. Again,
hot
we are
wings
resilient to engine
or hot
out
stage ring.
on Super
Starship
Heavy.
flying
That's why
on
we're
all
able to get through
trajectory.
our ascent.
Ascent.
Starship flying on the expected path. There's still a chance that engine could be back in the mix for the very start of the landing burn, so we'll see if we light up all 13. But we've even done a landing burn at the tower with an engine out, so very resilient. We'll see how it does on its way down to the Gulf, though.
Very true. Was there. Saw it.
All right, so we got a couple of minutes. That landing burn start should be just about 40 seconds away.
God, the shadows from the sunset as the rocket's coming
That's
down
always
for
rad. You can see
splashdown is so cool.
could see the boost plume itself in the background as it was coming in.
Imagine having a 4K camera on the booster as it does
Right,
this.
about 20 seconds to landing burn.
Ship Raptor chamber pressure is nominal.
Look at that thing down. Oh, the base is wiggling.
All right, here we go.
Oh.
Landing burn startup.
Good signs. Better than last time.
Looks like we got 12 of those 13.
It's
Down to
managing.
3, including one of the middle ring.
Good signs, good signs. I think it got it. Good shit.
Down to 2.
Landing burn
Nice
shutdown.
little hover.
Absolute
shutdown.
money. Oh, and you can
And
see it
into
fall
the
after the
Gulf.
engine
Here we
shut
come.
down into the water. Oh, that's so cool.
And the booster has splashed down.
Watching it fall after the hover
Incredible
is awesome.
flight for Booster today.
Meanwhile, back in space, about 7 minutes into today's flight, ship continuing its ascent burn. This goes until just about 9 minutes into our flight. That ship engine cutoff
Do they
is
have
slated
metallic
for 8
covers here?
minutes
I
and
thought those were
57
tile
seconds.
covers.
We are going to see those 3 RVAC, the Raptor vacuum
A lot more
engines. Those are the
reflective than I
bigger
thought they would be.
circles, and that little indicator on the bottom right of your screen. Those will shut down first, and we continue burning for a couple seconds longer on those inner 3 before we hit SECO, or second engine cutoff.
Yeah, these views are looking great. Once again, thanks to Starlink for getting us these views. It's just incredible.
No kidding.
And we just heard the sound from Booster.
It's like we just got a late boom from the booster.
As long as the thing keeps
Yeah, we have ship engine
What are
cutoff
those things
coming up
called?
here just shortly. And as we mentioned, today's flight test is not
Thrust
an
vector
orbital
control.
flight, but rather one that
With,
demonstrates Starship's
reaction
orbital
control thrusters.
capability.
Hopefully those things stay
Starship
working this
protocol
time.
guidance.
Hard to tell if the thing stands straight.
All right, entering the final phase of this burn. Under 30
I want to be
seconds to go.
around like 27,000, I think. 27,000. Forget what the exact number is for suborbital.
All right, shut down the vacuum engines.
Nice.
Ship
Oh, a
engine
hot
cut off.
spot.
We shut
looks like
down
a
the
hot spot right
center
there.
3. Successful
Nice,
ship
we made
engine
it through it.
cutoff.
We made it through upper stage burn. Now we just gotta keep
SECO,
reaction.
baby. There we go.
Look.
That's what we
Gotta
want.
keep the reaction
Nominal
control
orbit
thrusters
first.
working. They can keep those
All
working.
right, we just heard the
Oh,
call
it's gonna
out
be
for
smooth
nominal
sailing
orbital
for most of it.
insertion.
Yeah, 27,000.
All right, so ship is in space. There we go. We're seeing the flaps starting to move into a stowed position. That's why it looks like your camera's moving.
Yeah, exciting to
Yeah.
see Starship safely in space and super pumped to see all the team's hard work in action here today. And of course, as guaranteed, it's
Certainly
been
a
an
lot of venting.
exciting day so far. We successfully lifted off right on time at 6:30 p.m. Central Time. Thankfully, our weather was looking good today. Yeah, and
Hopefully
Booster,
that's nothing to worry
we
about.
had our soft splashdown in the Gulf, so ship continues on.
Yeah, ship able to complete its ascent burn all the way in. You can see some of the shadows
hoping
start
that's
to
a
creep
purge.
as it's going to be eventually flying into an orbital nighttime. So we'll see
Heat tile.
some daylight start to go away. But ship is in orbit, completed its burn, and I mean that's just the beginning. Now we've
I'm
got
hoping all the stuff we're seeing out the
whole
back is
bunch
just
more
venting.
to go. So we've got some exciting demonstrations
Ship
planned
FPS is
while
saved.
we're on orbit.
Well, FTS is
That
safe,
right
so
there,
at
we
least we'll
just
get to watch a
saved
fun
the FPS,
re-entry.
the flight termination system. That's that automatic flight safety system we have on the vehicle. So that is now turned off while ship starts its coast period. We are coming up. Our next milestone is going to be the deployment of
Yeah.
those Starlink simulators. We've got some payload inside of Starship that we're hoping to deploy into space for the very first time. That
Yeah.
deploy is supposed to start at about 18 minutes and 27 seconds into the flight, so just about 7 minutes from now. That deploy will take place over a couple of minutes. It'll go about one satellite a minute, so we'll be spread out over that. It might get a little dark, but we've got a couple of views that we can show you to
Hopefully
see
they
that
got a light
deploy
on
in
it.
action. After that,
Ooh.
we're also looking to do
Whoa.
a relight of a single Raptor
That didn't-
engine while we are in space. We've done this once before. This is not necessary to deorbit, as we are in a suborbital trajectory, but this is essentially a chance to test out what we need to be able to do a deorbit burn. So we'll be doing that
I don't know
a
if
little bit later in the
that's
flight,
good.
about 37 minutes or so into the flight. And then we get into reentry. We're looking to get that light show and, more importantly, get that really critical data.
I don't
about the
remember
ships
it
in the field.
venting this much.
Yeah, exactly. At about T plus 45 minutes, we'll be heading for reentry. Again, running those experiments with the tiles. We're going to be doing missing tiles, metallic
hope that's
tiles,
just a
and
purge.
also intentionally loading those vehicles' flaps. Hopefully, we'll also see a splashdown in the Indian Ocean today.
Yeah, we were able to get to a reentry last time, but we didn't have full attitude control, so we weren't able to go in, heat shield first the way we're designed to. So we ended up losing contact with the
A
ship
lot of stuff
before we
coming
could
off
make
that.
it all the way through.
Hopefully it's just ice.
So you still get data, but you're not really getting the data that we want to make
think
sure
it's
we're
just
kind of
ice.
stress
I don't know if,
testing
like, right
the
there,
vehicle.
right?
As Amanda just said, we
There and there.
removed a bunch of tiles, and we do this in some intentionally scary places on the vehicle because we're really looking, are there spots that were vulnerable to this before we ever start moving towards, putting ship into a full orbital
They are
mission
purging
to
a
then
lot.
do reentries a little bit later on. So really, really critical to get that data. Really
Is
looking
that from
forward
the engine
to a
show
controlled
for
reentry.
the
Yeah, for
in-space
sure. As
relight?
we always say, our main payload is data. But today we also have some actual payload on board, and those simulators that Starship will be deploying, we'll see coming up here in just a few minutes. These are dummy satellites that are about the same size as our V3 Starlinks. We have 8 in
Less
the
foggy
Starship
than
Pez
last time. That's a good
dispenser
sign.
and expect to deploy at a rate of about 1 per minute, as Dan mentioned earlier. Starlink is critical in all of our flights on Starship to get our main payload data, as we always say. And in fact, it's Starlink that's currently providing these views you see as Starship cruises a couple hundred kilometers above our home planet and provides real-time telemetry through every phase of flight.
Yeah, we took a peek inside of the Starship payload bay there for a second. So there's 8 of them there. They kind of look just big steel
Maybe that's
plates,
just a bunch of
essentially. They're
venting
roughly
from the
the same
reaction control
size
thrusters getting
as
it
those
oriented
V3
for the
satellites. When we do get that view
satellite
inside
deployment.
of the payload bay, the payload door will kind of be on your right, and we'll start to see them go out like a Pez dispenser. Yeah, here's a
so
look
that's gonna
inside.
be over
So
here.
those right down there in the center, they're kind of 2 stacks of 4 on either side.
So this
And
is
then
the
the
rear
payload
side.
door is just to their right. And so we'll look to see that open.
Guess it's
And then
heat
those
shield
satellites start to go. We vent the
over
nose
here.
cone, so we essentially bring it down to vacuum before we open the door. That was one of the things we ran into on the last flight, as when we had that fuel diffuser fail, the pressure in the nose cone became basically too high for the actuator of the door to open. So that's why we
Oh,
weren't
that's
able
what
to
happened.
get the door open that time. We have not
explains
seen anything like that
why
on
there
this
was so
flight.
much
Everything's
atmosphere
looking
this
good
time,
with our fuel tank
or last time.
and our fuel press system. So we are hopefully just a couple of
Look at all the
minutes
thin
away from
vapors.
seeing that payload door open and getting
So
to our
cool.
first ever payload. It's not the first payload we've ever carried, but it's the first one we're going to try and shoot off into space. All right, so I think
looks to
we're
be
supposed to
keeping
open the payload door in
generally stable
just
attitude.
about a minute and change. And you're seeing a little bit of residual gas. And we opened the door once. I want to say it was back on flight 3 when we were able to make it up into space. And you'll kind of see a lot of that gas rushing out into the vacuum of space. It's the residual that's left over after we've already vented it down. So kind of a cool light show. And then we'll get ready to deploy those payloads out. And as we mentioned, so we have crossed over now at this point into an orbital nighttime. So views from the outside will get pretty dark, but
Is that a light?
we'll see what we can see. We do this.
Maybe
We
that's
do this
how
by
it's
design. We've
visible in
been
here.
launching these later in the day here in
Down there too?
Texas to try and get daytime views when we splash down. So it's daytime over in the Indian Ocean, where we are currently headed.
Just a few seconds until we expect those payload doors to open.
Come on.
All right, one more time. Open the pod bay doors, Hal.
Oh! It opened! Yes. That's what I'm talking about. That's so cool. Oh, that's so cool. Look at
So
that.
we are currently in payload deploy prep.
I don't think it's ever been that far open before. At least not with this good of a view of it.
And the door is open.
Yeah.
All right, so the payload door is open. We should see the first satellites start to deploy at about T plus 18 minutes and 27 seconds. So should be only about 30 seconds. So
Yeah.
one step closer. Hal listened this time. He
Ooh.
cooperated. He opened the payload door for us. There's a view kind of behind the Pez here looking out into the vacuum of space.
About 15 seconds until payload deploy.
Ship has transitioned to payload deploy.
Holding my breath. Come on, cameras. Work for us. Well, that's not good. Oh! Moving.
There we go.
Wait. Did it get stuck? Or is that it deploying the first one? Now it's going to come back and then it'll deploy the second one.
Pew pew.
It
Wait
is.
way too long to do that. There we go.
There goes another one.
Gonna bonk on its way out. It is going to bonk on its way out. Sounds like they might need to work on that.
Super exciting moment as you can hear the energy in both Hawthorne and Starbase. Everyone's super excited for finally getting to deploy some of those simulated satellites.
Pez system moving down. Next row. There we go. As we said, we're going to do about one every minute or so. And this is just kind of a dress rehearsal for when we're going to be deploying the V3 satellites. And these are just a massive, massive increase to Starlink's capability. Each one of them has its 60 terabits per
They
second
look fucking
of
massive.
capacity that's going to get added to the network.
One of those things is like the
per
size of my
launch.
living
That's
room.
20 times more than what we're adding with every single Falcon 9 launch today.
Just
which,
for reference as to how
you know,
big those are. 'Cause
step
it's like
increase
fucking
in
massive.
capability. There goes another one.
Like they're probably like, I don't know, 15 to 25 feet across the long way. The things are fucking massive. I
All
don't know,
right,
probably
so
like
as
20,
we said, we've
25
got
feet
8
across.
total that we're going to go through today. It's about a minute for each one, but
This thing is as long as my living room. Up down the orbit going out. Let's stay straight. No. Can I hit on the way out again? Oh, maybe it didn't that time. Okay. See the little thing right there that they used to push it, I'm guessing? Oh, that's so cool. I mean, I guess satellites probably have like automatic stabilizers on them, like a gyroscopic stabilizer. Especially when they're that fucking big, they probably got something of the sort.
all right, so we're about halfway
Like a
through.
reaction control wheel, so they probably have
When
those
we
to keep
actually
them
start
straight
launching
when
the
they
V3
go out.
Starlinks on Starship, we're going to be flying about 60 each time, so it'll be about an hour to get through a full stack. But again, it's just going to be a massive
An hour
increase
of just
in the amount of
Starlink
bandwidth.
deployments.
It's going to enable
Jeez.
gigabit upload download for people with Starlink, anywhere on the planet.
I guess this thing
And
can
for
orbit
us,
as long as it wants,
Starlink
too.
is just a tremendous part of just the Starship
Unlike the
flight test
booster.
program.
Yeah, absolutely. Always getting us
Well, I
that
guess it's
data.
not too big of an issue with the upper stage either
and
for Falcon.
yeah, the amazing views we have on the vehicle today.
Yeah, views brought to you by Starlink of us deploying Starlink simulators before we deploy actual Starlinks. How deep does it go? All right, another one firing out.
Interesting. I'm wondering why they don't just have it go around and have like one on each side.
Pez looking smooth today.
But you don't have to have it wind back. Instead, it just always just goes one direction. Is it to save weight, maybe? At least not that much of an addition. I guess at the same time. Is it necessary? No. You can achieve the same thing with a couple kilograms less weight. Yes. All about weight savings. But also then you use less energy with the motor. Instead of having to go and go back.
All right,
the
looks
same
like
amount.
we've got one left.
Yeah, but it's
Almost
already
there.
hooked on that, I guess, so yeah, you'd have to pull it back. Unless you wanted to launch both at the same time. Well, that's the last one.
Yeah, there you go. One remaining, so 7 of the 8 have been deployed.
Good luck, soldier.
One more to go. And then we will have completed our first ever payload deploy operation. Just a reminder, we're on a suborbital trajectory. These satellites on that exact same suborbital trajectory, they're going to burn up entirely.
I wonder if you'll see them again during re-entry.
Towards the Indian Ocean. So the last one has been deployed.
Probably not. I can handle it.
Starlink simulator payload complete. Heck yeah, everybody.
Loving the energy from Starbase and Hawthorne.
There, now it's empty. Looking a little lonely, but
Successfully deployed all the
That's a
simulated
win.
satellites.
really, really cool
We're gonna
to
have to
see them
space
all
Raptor
out
relight.
there.
Come on.
Again, people that have
I want
followed
in Space
know
Raptor relight.
Starlink's really critical for the Starship program. In addition to getting all those views back from the cameras on Starship.
Is that
which
from the
this is an
outside?
external view. As I said, it's dark outside right now. The lights are off, so it's going to be hard to make stuff out. But in a little while, the sun's going to start coming up as we get
need to
to
get, like, some spotlights
re-entry,
put
which is
right
going to
there.
be really critical.
That'd be cool.
We use Starlink for Starship data. Cameras also use it on the cameras that we use to bring you views of these launches and also, hopefully, of the re-entry and splashdown. We'll see what we get from the Indian Ocean today. And that's just kind of how it all comes together. Like, we're using Starlink on the planet, off the planet. And with Starship, we actually get pretty insane. If you're in the space industry, you know bandwidth to space is usually pretty minimal. We get about 120 megabits per second. That's split between our high definition video and real time telemetry. We get that every phase of flight, including reentry. So it's not just giving us views of reentry, but we're getting all of that engineering data in real time through phases that it used to be impossible to get that in real time. So just really incredible.
Yeah, Starlink definitely affords us all this capability. And reminder, it's the world's largest satellite constellation operating in low Earth orbit to deliver high-speed, low-latency broadband internet. This provides internet access to people all around the world, many of whom had never had connectivity before. Today, Starlink serves more than 150 countries, territories, and other markets, with over 6 million active customers and counting. To meet the growing global demand for high-speed internet, SpaceX expanded its factory in Bastrop, Texas, and also introduced Starlink Mini, as well as an upgraded version of the Starlink standard kit.
All right, now with payload deploy complete, pew, 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 Starship is now going to close its payload bay door and continue to coast towards Earth, around Earth.
Oh, here we go.
Towards the Indian Ocean. Sorry, I'm really excited today. We are in space, people. Still a lot of major events to come, though. We are looking to relight.
Okay, we are doing
an
in-space relight. Yes!
At about 37 minutes, 33 seconds into the flight, followed by atmospheric entry, hell of a light show, and splashdown.
Okay, we got 10 minutes for that. We're going to do a round of GeoGuessr and then come back for that Raptor relight, hopefully. Okay, you're nope. Japan. Rather empty. For some reason, I'm getting coastal vibes. You know what? When in doubt, Tokyo. Relatively flat. Yup. When in doubt, Tokyo. Works every time. DHL. Boo. Damn, I can't read that sign for shit. South America. Oh, my gut's telling me it's Mexico, though. No clue. What? Finland? Oh, he meant Estonia. Okay. Maybe Ireland. Very UK. Okay, it was Ireland. Got it. US? Bounty Street. Actually, this could be Canada. Actually, I'm starting to doubt that because it's left-hand drive. Okay. It was New Zealand. Never guess the center of Australia. Especially when it's green. What the fuck? Say no to drugs. Philippines. Pasa City. Oh, that was Manila. Ah, Pasay City. How? Fuck it. It was Italy. Bro, he ain't even trying. He just guessing. And Chinese. Okay, definitely Japan. Yep. That's southern Japan. You thought you would get a one-up on me? No. Okay, we still got 5 minutes till relight. What kind of jobs they got? Filters. that flash? Oh, is that for the relight? Or is that the relight? Oh, okay. You're about to have the relight.
All right, welcome back, everybody. If you're just joining us, Starship just successfully deployed its first ever payload. We got 8 of those Starlink simulators out.
Okay,
and
those are the
now
reaction
we are
control
expecting
bursts.
the relight of a single Raptor engine. That should be coming up in just a little under a minute. We're going to be lighting just one of those Raptor sea levels in the middle
now
there.
my tracking should be better.
This is not a deorbit burn. It's a demonstration of what we'll have to do for deorbit burns. But we've done this once before. This is something we're really going to have to do when we're doing orbital missions. So it's a pretty critical test. We are just a couple seconds away.
I'm getting one of my eyes.
Sorry, we're about 20 seconds
facing
away.
directly towards the camera.
So we got a little bit more time. So we are going to see one of those Raptor engines light back up. We are through the deorbit demo gate, so we should be seeing it momentarily.
Relight demo startup. And shutdown.
Look at that!
All right, looks like we
Yeah.
confirmed the relight of one of those Center Raptor engines. Second time we've done that. Super exciting. Huge congrats to the team on this milestone.
So you're going to full orbital launch next time?
Exciting to see.
That was a cool light show. Yeah, I get to do a mini version here. So again, that's going to be really critical for when we're doing deorbit burns. Like as you're going through, which if you don't have one of these, my God, they're so much fun. But like you're able to actually like light. Oh, Dan, turn it on. Light that engine. Not set my co-host on fire. And that's what we'll eventually do to, break out of orbit, come back down to Earth. So really cool to see one of those engines light back up again in space. It was our last in-space thing.
Very exciting. We're going to be heading back
10 more minutes before
for
re-entry.
re-entry at about T+40.
Time for another game. Okay, Japan. It's the vibe I'm getting. Tokyo? This doesn't feel like Tokyo. It was in fact Tokyo. Wasn't flowery enough to be more south. Okay. Spanish. Probably South America. Really flat. Makes me think it's not Bolivia. However, at the same time, I've gotten Bolivia so many goddamn times that I'm gonna guess La Paz anyways. Watch it be Mexico instead. No, it was Uruguay. Oh yeah, I forgot Uruguay kind of looks like that. Okay, good to know. Noted for next time. Well, that did shit. St. Louis? No, this isn't Missouri. Shit. University. Southeastern Philippines. Yeah! Welcome back. You missed the relight of the Raptor engine in space. However, you have not yet missed re-entry. That's coming up in about 5-10 minutes. It wasn't much. It was like a 3-second relight. Slavic. Fuck, I had 2 cities. Damn. Hopefully it went well. Or it goes well. Greece. Damn. Unfortunate. Was slightly closer. I mean, as long as you don't get yelled at. Coke, okay. Probably Asia. Maybe. Never mind. That is Spanish. Which kind of Spanish? It's CL? Chile. It looks mountainous to the northeast. Okay, so yeah, that probably is down in like this area. Yes, sir! I got the fucking city! Yeah! Sweet, re-entry is starting. Wow, re-entry is starting right about now. Perfect timing. Okay, that is where the music's coming from. I timed that shit perfectly.
All right, so we are back. We are about 45 minutes into the 10th flight test of Starship, and as you can see, the light show has started. Re-entry has begun.
What's up with
we
these
are
tiles?
starting to re-enter the Earth's atmosphere.
I don't know what's up
We're
with those.
moving about 5 times the speed of sound, and we're
They're
about
trying
to start
different
barreling
mounting
through
methods?
the Earth's atmosphere and head for a
I really don't
splashdown
know.
in the Indian Ocean. We don't plan to recover the spacecraft today, but if we do make it all the way down to the water, who knows? But the goal of this part of the flight is to learn as much as we can
Maybe?
about the ship's heat shield. A
I would
fully
love to see a
reusable,
Starship recovery.
rapidly reusable heat shield for a spacecraft has never been done before. It's one of kind of the hardest engineering challenges still out there for us. And so this is the time to really dig in and get that data.
Yeah, absolutely. And re-entry is a critical phase of flight, so we'll need information on how the ship's system end up performing. And Starlink will also help us gather as much data as possible, which is really the main reason why we do these flight tests. Starlink provides us with one more path to collect data to help us rapidly iterate on Starship's
Looks like
design.
it's got solid
And if the
control.
ship manages to make it all the way to re-entry, we'll
Looking at the
collect
attitude
valuable
thing
data
down
on the
here.
spacecraft
I
flying
like the
through the Earth's
3D
atmosphere
representation
at
instead of the 2D one.
hypersonic speeds, or more than 5 times
Because you
the
could
speed
kind
of
of tell if
sound.
it was tumbling
Yeah,
before, but
throughout
now you
history,
can really
a lot
tell.
of times this is when you go into just a complete data and insight blackout, where that plasma sheath builds up around the outside of the spacecraft that blocks all of your signals that are trying to fight
This
through to
gap
talk
right
to either
here.
satellites out in space or towers down on the ground. Starship's big size kind of gives us awake, but what really helps us punch through is the fact that we're using Starlink. We're
Whoa! What just happened?
That's not what we want to see. So we just saw some of the aft skirt just take a hit.
What was that?
So we've got some visible damage on the aft skirt. We're continue to re-enter though. And again, we are intentionally stressing the ship as
Why
we
did it
go
just
through this.
combust?
So it is not guaranteed to be a smooth ride down to the Indian Ocean. We've removed a bunch of tiles in
What?
kind of critical places across the vehicle. So seeing stuff like that is still
It's currently
valuable to us. We
in
are trying
re-entry,
to
and
kind of push
something
this
just fucking
vehicle to the
exploded in
limits.
the aft
So whatever
section.
its limits are as we design our
Yeah,
next
something just
version of
blew up
Starship.
and
So
blew up like half
47
or
minutes,
part of the
45
aft skirt, so there's just a
seconds into
hole
the
in it
flight.
now.
Excitement
Hopefully
ticking
it's the
up a little
rearward
bit on
side
re-entry
and not the.
already, but the light
Well, I
shows
guess if something's gonna explode it, at least it's
this
the rearward
re-entry,
side, not
is going to take about
and
20
not the
minutes
what is
or
it?
so until our plane splashed out.
Ooh,
We were
did it get
trying
the
to splash
flap?
out about
Hopefully it
1
didn't get the
hour and
flap.
6 minutes into the flight.
You can see stuff burning off right there.
Yeah, and one day Starship is designed to land on Mars, where there are obviously no runways or other humans to help us out. So we are doing propulsive
still
landing
keeping
instead of
control
more
for
traditional
now.
means such as parachutes. And propulsive landing enables us to have
What
more
was
rapid
that?
reusability with these vehicles.
I can't wait to learn what that was.
The ship itself, it's
That was
a
interesting.
little over 50 meters tall. We've got those 6 engines on board, the 3 vacuum, the 3 sea level, and they're down in that aft skirt
85
region,
kilometers,
which
flaps have
Yeah.
control.
Look right here.
all right, so at this point, the flaps have control. That means we're getting into a dense
Was that
enough
right
part
at
of
like
the
the
atmosphere
hinge?
that the flaps
Or
can start
like the
controlling
border where
us. We're
the-
not only reliant
Oh, if
on
that is,
those
that
kind of
totally means it
reaction
might have got one of
control
the
system thrusters.
flaps.
We're going to continue hearing some callouts as
That
the
looks
ship
like it
makes
was
its
right
way
along
back to
the
Earth.
line of the
So when we
tiles,
hear
maybe.
entry max heating and entry max Q, that will mean
Oh,
the
it
ship will
totally
begin
got
the
part of the
maximum
flap.
heating and
Oh, that
aerodynamic
isn't good.
loads it will experience as it returns.
Oh, flap
So
seems
if
to be
it makes it
working
through
for now, at
those,
least.
we can say we're doing pretty well.
I will say I'm happy re-entry cleaned off this camera for us. It was a little dirty from the weather, so thank you, Plasma, for giving us this view as we start coming down.
Well, thankfully there's nobody on it. And it's just a test. I mean,
The hit we saw.
who
to
knows? It's
the
gone through similar
skirt,
things
definitely
before and made
interesting.
it
I
through
will
just
note,
fine.
When we started doing these missing tile tests, we were
And it's-
intentionally removing them only in the skirt, as that's
Oh, was that one of the
that's
tiles
not
that
over your
exploded?
fuel tanks or anything else that's kind of structurally critical for keeping the entire vehicle together.
So maybe like
Obviously
one of like
exposes your engines, so that could
the
do some things for
regeneratively
our
cooled
landing work.
tiles that they had.
But for now, we are obviously continuing with this reentry. We are committed. Indian Ocean, here we come. 50 minutes since launch. We're going to see
Ooh.
those colors start to build up a little bit.
Yeah.
We are at the point where we're in dense enough atmosphere that the flaps have control.
Yeah, look at that. It's toasting
About
the side of the
74 kilometers
ship
in
a little bit.
altitude. You were starting to
Screaming.
see some sunlight, so we intentionally time these launches right now so we have daylight. The sun should actually come up over the horizon on Starship in about 3 minutes.
Look at that
So
view,
as
though.
we get a little bit further into
Jeez.
this reentry, that inky black below you is going to start to look like clouds and hopefully a bright blue ocean as we make our way down onto the other side of the planet.
Flaps looking a little toasty.
We've got these cameras. These cameras are really cool. We added these several flights ago, looking directly at the flaps as not just the heat shield, but these flaps, how they're able to control the vehicle, withstand that reentry, the seal
I'm
locations,
curious
so kind of
how
where they connect
much of the flaps are
to
going to
the
be
ship
left this time.
itself are some of the most critical. We will do missing tiles on those where, again, we're trying to, we're kind of being mean to this Starship a little bit. We're really trying to put it through the paces and kind of poke on what some of its weak points are. I mean, we even have missing tiles over some of those fuel tank sections of the ship itself. And so we're really trying to see what are our limits. We're doing this over a completely empty area over the Earth.
Seems to be fucking toughing through it even after that fucking little
Look at our Raptors
explosion
there.
that
We
happened.
are, assuming we make it all the way down to the ocean in one piece, we will attempt a flip and a landing burn.
Ooh, look at that
We do
gas
have
coming through the
at
flap.
least one buoy, everybody's favorite camera person, out in the Indian Ocean right now.
Yes, we love
being
camera
powered
buoy.
by Starlink. So that's at our planned landing location. So if we're able to get
Ooh.
any live views of the ship, that'll essentially tell you that we nailed our target.
Coming in slightly tilted.
Able to do that on our 6th flight test, do it in the daytime, which was really exciting.
Is that just to look like that and it actually isn't? Looks like it's coming in at a slight angle. Yeah.
All right, so we're about
I
10
don't know about you, but
minutes
that don't
until
look
we're
like it's coming
probably
down
gonna start
straight.
hearing some of the other big milestones coming up.
Then again, when does this thing ever
Yep,
look like
in
it's
about
going
10
right?
minutes, like Dan said, Starship will be transonic. This
At least
is
this
going to
flap
be
looks
the
fine.
period of
Or is
flight
that-
where
that's
the
probably one of the nose
velocities of
flaps, isn't it?
airflow surrounding and flowing past the vehicle
Yeah, that's
are
a nose flap.
concurrently below, at, and above the speed of sound, so somewhere in the range of Mach 0.8 to 1.2. For reference, commercial jets have a range of cruising speeds, but most of them fly at speeds between Mach 0.74
that's
and
why
Mach
it looks like that. Okay.
0.85. So that's 480 to 575 miles per hour or 770 to 930 kilometers per hour.
Yeah, and after transonic comes subsonic. That just means you're slower than the speed of sound. We're
I know,
still
right? It's
well
so
in excess
pretty.
of that right now.
Oh, look!
But by the
Oh,
time we
you
hit
can see the
subsonic,
Earth in the background.
We're essentially belly flopping down. There we go. There's that sunlight. So we're seeing the Earth now come back into view. One of the other things we're doing during this,
Oh,
you're going to
that's
see
so
Starship
cool.
kind of pitch in some pretty, not extreme ways, but a little extreme, as we're trying to really stress the structure of it, of the ship itself, specifically those aft flaps. So the ones in the
Well,
very
there's
bottom
the aft
of
flaps
the
are
vehicle.
definitely stressed already.
We're pushing not just how well does the heat shield hold up, but how well does the ship structure hold up. We are pushing it beyond essentially what we think we'll have to fly at to do something like a return to launch site. So again, may not be a very smooth ride downhill.
That
but
is
we're doing
such
that
a
by
cool
design. We're
view.
really trying to
Oh
see where
my
the edges that
gosh.
we can operate at, build up a good data set. But sun is up, clouds and water down
Left flap
below us.
looks. I guess
We
that'd
are
be
just
right
about
flap.
10 minutes
looks
away,
to
a
be
little
going
less than
fine.
10 minutes now until we
No, that's
start hitting
100% valid. I want to
transonic
touch
and
it too.
subsonic. Once we hit subsonic,
I know I
we're
shouldn't.
basically just belly flopping.
Yeah. The right aft flap looks to be handling it better than the left one. But still, a bit of burn through. As usual. Certainly an energetic way to start re-entry, though. Having a frickin' tile explode or whatever happened.
All right, so about 55.5 minutes in, you can see the sun is up. Again, we intentionally designed these flights to lift off in the evening here so we get these daylight views so we can get as good a video as possible on the ship, assuming we make it all the way down.
Yep, you
Got
would
at
definitely
least
get
one
burned.
buoy powered
You'd
by
probably lose your
Starlink
hand
that's
if
out
anything.
there in the landing zone in the Indian Ocean, hopefully giving us a
Oh,
view
you can
again.
see the catch point getting
See any
heated.
live views, not from the ship
Down
itself.
beneath the
That
clock.
means we nailed our landing target.
Starship is past peak heating.
Yes!
All right,
Good
we
signs.
just heard the call out that we're past peak heating, so things are looking good so far.
Yeah, looking good.
Very good signs indeed.
And at this point, again, the flaps are controlling. So this movement you're seeing is that forward flap moving to try and
Come on,
just
show us the other flap.
Maintain
I want to see the
control,
other
maintain
flap.
attitude of the vehicle as we're coming down.
Be real toasty. Look at all the fucking coloration on the ship now from the heat. So cool.
Checking in on one of our flaps. We got one of these cameras on all 4 of the flaps, 2 in the front, 2 in the back.
Yes, that's the one I want to see. No,
really good
better shape
close-up
than I thought
views.
it would be.
As we
Certainly
obviously don't have
toasty
a
still.
camera that can see the entire heat shield. These give us kind of the best that we can do.
I wish.
But looking at those flaps is really, those are just, super critical for controlling the ship. You have some ability to maneuver kind of cross range. So as you're coming in, you can see in that indicator at the very bottom right that we've pitched up quite a bit. So again, we are maximally stressing those aft
that
flaps
aft flap's
right now.
definitely seen worse. Thought it would have been
Like we got a little
worse
bit of burn
worse shape than
through
last time.
the very bottom part of it. Everything's still looking good. Ship maintaining control.
I think it's got it in the bag. At least re-entry. I don't know if relight's going to be fine after that explosion, but I mean,
We should be just about
if something bad
5
happens, it's going to
minutes
be with the
away until
engine
we
bell.
hear that we're transonic.
Not like they're reletting the vacuum ones either, which would have taken the most of the brunt. Most of the hit. The brunt of the damage, that's what I meant to say. Oh, is that a metal fire? Some of those loose bits are finally coming off.
Still a little bit toasty on the aft skirt of the vehicle as we continue coming in.
I want to see engine bay view.
Again, we are intentionally stressing the flaps so we can learn all we can.
Oh, they're stressed. You did a good job with that one.
All right, so now we're already well past peak heating. Just about 48, 49, counting down to 48 kilometers in altitude. Expecting that transonic to come, so transitioning between the speed of sound and subsonics lower than the speed of sound in just a little under 4 minutes from now. And right now we've got kind of a lot of forward momentum, a lot of forward velocity, and then eventually by the time we hit subsonic. All right, here we go. So this is what we've been talking about, where we are going to essentially try to fully deploy those aft flaps and really stress them out. So again, this is meant to test the extremes for the vehicle.
Oh, look at the butt of it come up when they move those aft flaps out. That's so cool.
All right.
Oh, don't flip now.
See those flaps swinging out? Again, we're putting ship through the ringer on this flight in.
It's so cool to see them do this.
It's like we're still maintaining control.
Oh, looks like a little fire. Hopefully it doesn't affect too much. Into that little demo. They're gonna try it once more.
All right, flaps earning their paycheck today, getting through kind of that max stressing.
Definitely things looking good so far. We're about 2 minutes out now from Starship becoming transonic.
one cool thing to note
Once
as
again,
we get some of those
over-engineering
views showing kind of the
parts of
whole
the
length
rocket.
of the ship, one of the changes we made after Flight 6 was to change the tile line a little bit. So we had kind of scaled back the number of tiles significantly, as when we go to catch these ships, you don't want to, I think as Elon said, you don't want to shuck the ship as you catch it and knock all those tiles off. So we knew we were going to have to kind of peel back that layer a little bit. And the first time we did it was on Flight 6, and we saw kind of wrinkling and dimples almost in the
Definitely
ship
a
as
lot
we were
less
creating
wrinkling
these
this time.
hot spots in the
Definitely
uneven parts
remember what
of
they're
the
talking
heat
about, though.
shield. And so we, to kind of address that, we smoothed it out. That's why you've got kind of that nice smoothed out black line now on the ship. And just looking at it, we can see kind of a little bit of hot spot, a little bit of warping almost. Near the payload door, you can see a little bit of colored patina up above it, but we don't see
You can
those
see
kind
a
of
little bit of
deep,
like a divot right there.
almost, you know,
There and
they
there seem
almost
to be
look
the
like
worst of it, though.
gouges on that. So it looks like that's been pretty successful. So
Yeah.
all right, we are less
They outdid
than
themselves
a
this
minute
time.
away
Jeez.
from hitting transonic. Again, pretty soon our kind of our forward velocity is going to look like it's kind of falling off a cliff, and Starship will look like it's falling off a cliff as we essentially
And with
go
performance
into
this well,
our belly flop.
I can
If you
totally see them
watch
trying to launch
some of
again in 2 weeks.
The high altitude tests or
As
suborbital
long as there's nothing wrong with
campaigns,
the launch mount.
we were able to test that. It was a pretty fundamental, like, can this thing actually fly?
You know, they could probably get this
and we were
thing
able
launched
to
again in
prove
another
that
2
out with that suborbital
weeks to a
campaign.
month.
And that's what we're about to see shortly here.
Oh, the reflection from the sun on the forward flaps. They spoil us with these views. How can you be mad at them?
All right, so at this point,
Seeing
we've
shit like
dropped
this.
below the speed of sound.
Now are we finally
so
going to belly flap?
Starship itself is subsonic. We are starting to chill the engines for a landing burn attempt.
Yep, we're going into belly flap. Oh, look at that
Landing
view!
supposed to start in a little
I've said it
over
so
2
many times,
minutes.
but look at it!
Subsonic Indian Ocean, we're on our way.
Starship is subsonic.
There we go. Farewell, space.
Holy shit. By far the most successful launch yet.
All right, so
They had it
coming up in
lift
just
off.
a little
They
under 2
did,
minutes, so we're gonna
I
do
think,
the
every
flip
single goal
and the
they set
burn.
out
So
to do
we're
this
only
launch.
using
They
those
had some
3
accidents
center
in
Raptor
the
engines,
process,
sea levels, the ones
and
that
the ship's still making it to
gimbal,
landing
move
burn.
around and steer. Dipping the nose down a little
Fucking
bit.
look at those flaps. I wonder if it'll be a little short of actual landing site because of those.
Got 2 of our engines chilled in, waiting on 1 more. So again, we'll attempt to use 3 burns for that initial flip. We eventually go down to just 2 Raptors for the end of the landing burn.
Just about 1 minute now from that landing flip and landing burn start.
Lap cam is looking mighty toasty. Oh, wow, that one's extra toasty. Jesus. What the hell happened since the last time we saw this camera? Come on, switch to a different one.
Structurally, we're looking good. Got good pressures in our nose cone for everything.
Yes. It's gonna do the thing
About
around like
30
1
seconds.
kilometer, right?
So again,
Is
we're
it
going to look for the
around
flip.
2 kilometers.
So Starship's doing its belly flop right now. We're going to do the flip. Swing out.
I think it was around
Let's
1
punch through some
kilometer.
clouds first.
Yeah, they're gonna want to be below that second cloud layer first. See the water?
Here we go.
Starship, landing burn startup.
Imagine you could see the recovery vessel in the background.
Seeing 3 engines.
Oh
There's our
my
flip.
goodness! Oh! Yes, go back.
Oh my god.
Yes!
There's a splashdown.
Oh my god.
Kaboom!
Hey.
That's what I'm here for. Absolutely fucking crushed it.
Oh man, yeah.
Blew that thing.
Ship
You could say they
37.
blew it out of the
Thank you,
water.
buoy cam. Landing flip, landing burn, splash out of the Indian Ocean. There we go. Whew. All right.
Oh, that was fucking
That was pretty awesome.
magnificent.
Incredible
This is
flight
cool, right?
today for both ship and booster.
Yeah, really incredible. So obviously we're excited here. It looks like everybody's excited over there. Tyler, how's it going over in Hawthorne?
We are super excited here in Hawthorne. It was another exciting Starship flight test in the books, and we hope you enjoyed those Starlink views. So congratulations to the team at Starbase and everyone here and around the company. So many employees have contributed enormously to the Starship program as we continue to iterate and make progress towards a multi-planetary future. So that's going to wrap it up for us here in Hawthorne. Thank you to everyone for tuning in today.
Bye.
It was great being with you
Goodness,
today.
they
Back to
did
you
it.
guys.
That was absolutely incredible. Huge congrats to all the teams here. Again, we lifted off from Starbase, Texas, right at the top of our window at 6:30 p.m. Central Time.
Go check out SpaceX's stuff. And all the other people, like NASA Space Flight, Everyday Astronaut. Check out their streams and videos, because holy fuck. They probably had some hella good shots, though, with their cameras. I can't wait to see all the fucking B-roll people post of this thing after the fact. That was gorgeous. Oh. I can't wait for the next one. Wales? Or there? Shell? 7-Eleven? I'm getting Sweden vibes. They were in fact Sweden vibes. It's gonna be the last game. Then I'm gonna hop off. Because holy shit, I need a mental recovery after that thing. Australia. Melbourne or Sydney? Solution. Go in between. Wrong side. That was in Perth? Well, that's rare. Russia. Go like that. Well, you've got plenty of forewarning this time. Oh shit, that might have been more like down here. Serbia? That was totally an RS though. What the hell? Yeah, no, that roof definitely looked more Mediterranean. Korea. What's the bus say? Nothing useful. Keep them guessing. Hopefully it's somewhere in the Seoul metro area. It was in fact in the Seoul metro area. German? Einbahn? Oh yeah, that's totally fucking Dutch. AT? What? Einbahn. Hamburg. Oh, it was Austria. I would not have guessed Vienna. Greek? Definitely Greek. That's Athens. They were closer than I was. Son of a bitch. Auto services. Gara. Mediterranean. Oh shit, that's the Google car. Spain? Could be Italy. I bet this is probably Italy, and I'm just fucking it up. Oh, Montenegro. Oh, still closer than the other bozo. Alright, time to call it. Ending it off with a win. Good to see that. For now, though, you know what this means. Time to go bye-bye. Seeing as you already said your bye-bye? Toodaloo. Stupid. What do you mean, stupid? I'm smart. If I wasn't smart, I wouldn't have said so. Duh.